Today's case, we are going to be talking about JAVION Magee. I did find this idea off of Candace Starr, and I am not copying her, I'm just giving her credit. That's where I found the idea to do this video. I wanted to see what my cards would say, and this is a case that is not getting the coverage that it deserves. JAVION was 21 years old from Illinois, and he had just gotten his CDL license not too long ago. And he was just so proud of it and so happy that he got his license. And about a month ago, he was seen going into a Walmart in Henderson, North Carolina. He bought some rope and some other things. He walked out of the Walmart, allegedly seen walking in the woods, nobody around him. And later on, he was found deceased with his rope around his neck, tied to a tree. Like at the base of the tree, I think he was sitting down. And at first, police wanted to rule it as he did it to himself. Then the family was not accepting that, and it is currently being investigated. Allegedly, people are saying that this is a homicide, that he would never have done this to himself, that he was very happy. So we're going to get to the card table and we are going to take a look at this case. Disclaimer notice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. All information in this video is not based on fact. It is all alleged, based upon my intuition, my opinion, what I believe my tarot cards are telling me. I encourage each and every one of you to do your own research, form your own opinions. After all, I'm just a blonde throwing cards. Oh, should have done this before I started the camera. Okay. Anyhow, welcome back for another video on JAVION Magee. First one I've done this. I didn't even hear about this case until I came across Candace Starr. And I think she's the only one, the only reader, the only true crime person, period, who has covered this that I could find. Okay? I did a search on YouTube and I saw a lot of news reports, 2-minute clips, you know. I think the maximum I saw was 4 or 5 minutes. And it's sad. He's another one of them cases that it's in question. Did he do this to himself? And just like Liam Payne, you know, I'm probably going to revisit that one. Because I may, and I will admit this, I may have gotten some stuff wrong or misinterpreted some stuff. When he kept on saying he had to get out, he had to get out, I think Liam was just saying he needed out of the organization. But that's another video. In this one, there were no signs of mental illness. There were no signs. He was never been in trouble with the law, you know, and the flip side of that is a lot of people may get involved in things that they keep hidden from their family, from their friends, but we're going to find out the truth. And if any of his family comes across this video, you have my deepest condolences for the loss of your son, the shock of it. whether this was a hate crime, which, you know, even I cannot rule that out. You know, my opinion is when it comes to people, we are all human beings. What you see on the outside is just like a book cover. Okay? You don't know what's inside the book until you start reading it, until you start interacting with it. Okay? It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Doesn't matter what country you're from. It all boils down to what is inside. Okay? And that's the way I've always looked at humanity. Granted, there are some really bad people from different countries, different part of the world. But I blame that on their government. I blame that on sometimes it's religious views. It's what they have been indoctrinated with. Okay? And, you know, it boils down to, I think, belief systems. And there are some people out there that are just plain evil. And I'm not talking about African Americans or just Mexicans or just Islam. Because there are some Islamic people that are good people. I know that may not be a popular statement for some of you, but there are. It's all about their person's indoctrination, what they've been exposed to, what they believe personally. It's all about the human inside, the soul. Okay? And one bad person may be bad now, but maybe in a previous lifetime, they were a good person. And they had to come to this life to be the opposite, to learn a certain lesson. And a lot of people don't really understand that. We're all here for a reason. Now, it's like they play a role, or they were supposed to be a lesson to somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? But without further ado, I know I'm doing a lot of talky because my guides have a lot to say about this. Simply because there is the potential that in JAVION's case, it could have been a hate crime, unfortunately. And my heart breaks for that family. But as I started to say, if any of his family members watches this video, I need you to keep an open mind. I tell it like it is. I don't tell what the majority of the people want to hear. I dig for truth. Okay. So I am going to use several decks. And the reason why I do this is to make sure that the message is correct of what is coming across. Because, you know, it kind of like, I'll see repeat messages. And I do that for a reason. I do that for confirmation, basically. If one deck says one thing and another deck says something else, there's something there, there's a gray area. And I'll pull out another deck and say, okay, why is this contradicting each other? I've had that before. It's been a while. Usually every deck I use comes across and it's very, very clear. Okay. Okay. So I am going to ask, just to get a general overview about JAVION Magee. Was this an accident? Was this a hate crime? Or what happened here? Now these are just printed out. Okay. Well, that's pretty straightforward. The grave. Laid to rest, buried, completed. This is more, and it's a number 4. It's about stability. That's plain. That is really saying, okay, I did choose the right deck to start with. That's a confirmation. This is 1111 True Crimes, True Crime Oracle that I'm starting with. Of course, this is very thin cardstock. Traffic. The traffic, that's another confirmation. And the number 1 is telling me he was alone. He traveled alone. And the traffic is also telling me, yes, that was his industry. He had a CDL license. He was a truck driver. So far, what they're doing, they're telling us things that we already know. Okay. This is bold. Victim. Okay. I'm putting this aside. Oh, after I see what this card is. Far away. And there's the mountains. When you think of like the mountains in North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, you know, there's the mountain chain. I don't know how far away. Maybe somebody could comment below how far away is Henderson from the Appalachian Mountains. Yes, they are actually, because I am from the Appalachian chain is only an hour away from me. In our part of the woods, we call them Appalachian. Some people call them, I've heard different pronunciations, and the different pronunciations, I understand what people say when people mispronounce their towns and stuff, they cringe. I cringe when I hear the Appalachian Mountains being mispronounced. But I understand people are not from the area, and it's a complicated spelling. But I digress. But he was far away from home, and he was a victim. And I feel like the victim was somebody that we'll find out if it was somebody that was known to him or not. But let's move on to this investigations deck. This is Trish James investigation deck. This is, one of my favorites. This has become very quickly one of my favorite decks. I've bonded extremely well with it. So this is making me think already that the family is correct in that this was not, he did not do this to himself. As far as buying the rope and him and the rope being around, that same rope being around his neck, somebody could have put it there. Somebody could have got the rope off of him. Somebody could have been waiting for him or watching him. I haven't seen any surveillance footage after he entered the woods, which is curious to me. I would think they would be looking immediately, all cameras around. Did anybody go into the woods after him? Right? We don't know why he was going into the woods. I would think it would not to be to go take a whiz, because there are bathrooms in in Walmart. But who knows why he was going in the woods. We'll see what this deck tells us. So these two were just confirming that, and he was far away from home. Okay? This is just confirmation that that he's with us. He's at this reading, and that the cards are on track. And for us to say victim, he was definitely a victim of something. It's not saying of a crime. He could have been a victim of something emotional that was unseen. So we're not ruling out the possibility of him doing this to himself. I'm not intuitively, I'm not necessarily feeling that he did. But sometimes the messages are mixed, and that's why, otherwise I do straight readings with my crystal ball and mediumship. But straight out mediumship can be dangerous too. Something didn't go, let me show you the card. Something didn't go as planned. That's interesting. Exposed secrets. Something didn't go as planned in regards to something that was hush hush, heavy burden carried. Okay. Like I said, sometimes I could be wrong. This is kind of leaning towards carrying some sort of secrets that maybe he had that was weighing heavy on him, and something didn't go to plan, something being exposed. Accomplice had help. So this is making me think that there was somebody there with him. So was there some kind of confrontation? Something was seen. Wow. That goes with this. Somebody saw something and was going to expose it. Makes me think, did Javion witness something he shouldn't have witnessed? So somebody's had an idea or had a plan, and their plan, something did not go according to their plan. And it was going to cause a lot of problems for somebody. So there was somebody else involved with him, somebody that he... Now this is making me think somebody that he knew. I'm picking up an energy of possibly somebody that he worked with. Okay. Let's pick these up. So, what kind of secrets or what was going to be exposed? What was going to be exposed? Or who saw what? You know, what was going to be exposed? The devil energy. The devil in this, it says narcissist, torture, rage. Somebody was really angry. Somebody was really angry. But what was going to be exposed? This is often one of my deception or one of my DRUGS cards, or a scandal of some sort. Tell me more. Domestic violence abuse. Could have involved a woman. Did he see some kind? He may even have seen a crime being committed. Digital portrait. A digital footprint. Did he take pictures of something? 2 crimes connected. I thought so. This deck is talking. Think about it differently. Okay, this was not a hate crime. It was not a hate crime. There's actually 2 separate crimes that are connected. What happened to JAVION and another one. I specifically asked what was going to be exposed. There was something involving violence. And there's a digital footprint of it, almost like a photo taken, okay, of the devil's work. So it feels like he witnessed something. There were 2 crimes connected, and they're talking about the crime. Might have been something dealing with a woman, but there was a crime. Maybe an assault. That's what I'm getting. An assault crime of some sort. Whether it resulted in an unaliving, they're not being specific. But there was something with violence or some kind of assault. And I'm definitely feeling the feminine energy. Sometimes I could get this card and it's not the feminine, it's assault against him. But we're not talking about his specific crime. We're talking that was committed against him. We're talking about what did he witness, or what was going to be exposed. And that's why we have to think about this differently. It wasn't necessarily a hate crime. It involved another crime that he had witnessed. Okay. I want to know, was this if this person was known, if JAVION knew this person? Did JAVION know this person? Did JAVION know this person? Inside job. Aggressive attack. Now, they said that JAVION did not have any defensive wounds. That was another reason why they were leaning towards him doing this to himself. But was there an autopsy report done on him? Freedom. Deeply involved. Somebody's freedom was at stake. JAVION was deeply involved with this person. Their freedom was at stake, and I'm getting a lack of trust, because I'm seeing that here. This person did not trust that JAVION would stay quiet. JAVION had a sense of morals about him. So there was an inside job with an aggressive attack. So I'm getting that it's almost like JAVION wasn't supposed to be unalived. He was supposed to be shaken up or something like that, but somebody took it too far. It was an inside job. And I feel whoever that Javion was deeply involved with wasn't necessarily the person that committed it. Was this hired help? Was this hired? Was somebody hired to do this? Was somebody hired? So I kind of heard that. Was somebody hired? Was somebody hired? Rumors behind your back. So there was talk flying. Unaware of your surroundings. He was unaware of what was going on. But there were talks there. And a deal was organized to bring the situation back into balance. So this is translating into, yes, there was a deal made to shake Javion up. The talks were going on behind his back. This deal, these talks, this group of people made a deal. So his attacker was not the person involved in the other crime. Okay? And Javion was oblivious of this all. He thought he was by himself. He may have been just going into the woods just to relax, to get away from the people, the crowd, just, I need some time to myself. Almost like, I don't know this is just coming to me that Javion would like to go be by himself sometimes to pray or meditate, get his energy back in balance, because I'm picking up that he was an extreme empath, and he would pick up on other people's energy, and a way to dump that, especially the negative shit, is sometimes he would like to go off by himself to meditate or pray to alleviate that. Like to get rid of or shed negative energy. Sorry, I had to stop for a minute to go grab another deck. I am using Ashley's deck today. I haven't used this in a long time. Okay. I know she does a lot of reversals with her deck. I still have issues with reversals when it comes to oracles. But let's see. I just want to get a few cards. Outside, out in the open. Party, celebration. I think something happened at a party below ground level. Okay. Something was coming out into the open involving some kind of bar party or something like that was actually probably underground, as in quiet. Or the other crime has to do with something underground. Oh, snap. We've got government. Okay, I get it. Affair, cheating. No. Wrong way. Justice, karma, life insurance. Okay. The government makes me think of somebody in a place of importance, okay? And They may be somebody who does things under the ground, or that could be metaphoric, as in the underworld, the shady shit that probably involve parties and stuff like that. The cheating and the affair. Okay, and the no. That's got me curious. I'm not sure what it's saying no to. Wrong way, wrong direction. This was something that he witnessed. Almost feels like he attended something, and maybe the family knows or doesn't know about this. I'm wondering what's going to come out with his tracking on his phone pings and stuff. But this okay, thank you. Spirit, thank you. This feels like he went the wrong direction in somebody that he connected himself to, that he thought he can trust. And the affair and cheating has not to do with husband and wife, but more of a betrayal. That this person was somebody he didn't think he was. Justice and karma. Somebody who is well connected did this. And they had to silence JAVION. That was the life insurance policy. This is also reminding me of contracts and stuff. It was a contract hit. But it was made. But the thing that throws me on it is it was made to look like it wasn't, if you understand what I'm saying. So these were professionals and knew how to make it look like self-deletion. And there are definitely two crimes connected to this. Let's see what this half of the deck says. Contract, paperwork, communication. Partner, we got partner and spouse. So, remember that domestic violence card that came up? Fraud, cybercrime. There's a lot more involved with this, but JAVION saw something, and I think it had to do with work. Dismemberment and fired. Somebody was bound to lose their livelihood, and getting rid of JAVION was their insurance policy. Dismemberment. That is like what I'm getting is somebody's life was getting ready to fall apart. There's definitely fraudulent information being put out, and I don't know what's going on with our law enforcement nowadays. But the fraudulent cybercrime is making me think more of digital evidence and communications being covered up. The fraud is to its core. Fraud is a lie. And it's making me think of lies about something with communications, maybe even with his own cell phone data. Something could be deleted. His phone could be hacked to make sure that things were deleted off of it. But I'm definitely getting some kind of cover up here. And the energy that I'm getting is that Javion didn't put himself in that situation. Not purposely. I feel like it was an accident. Feels like, and allegedly speaking, entertainment purposes only, someone around the work or somebody he interacted with on a regular basis, and I keep getting this work energy. And it's like he overheard something or he got something on his phone. Maybe just give me a minute, it's coming. I'm getting a mishap with communication. I'm seeing like, remember that, okay, over here we had the wrong way, wrong direction. A misdirected communication that went to Javion that should not have gone to Javion. Maybe he didn't actually, quote, witness something, but something was sent to his phone when it shouldn't have. It's like somebody made a mistake. And there's paper. This is business oriented, fraudulent business oriented. There's another crime. That abuse and that aggressiveness makes me wonder if he was sent a certain, somebody said, this is what we're going to do to this person that involved violence, and that message went to Javion when it shouldn't have. And I think somebody got fired over it, but it's like things not going according to plan, like was in one of them spreads. It's like their plan was dismembered and they feel their life is hanging in the balance, is going to fall apart. Daisy. It's probably almost mailman time. But it feels like he got privilege to some information he shouldn't have. It just, there's some shady shit that's going around his workplace, his employer, his employment. Can't say for sure it's his employer, but somebody up high up in the ranks. That government card that came out doesn't have to be the literal government. That could be to somebody in a governing place over in the work, in the business, in the company, in the trucking company. Because let's go back to this traffic. That is transportation, right? And so there's a reason why I left this set of cards out. That tying in the traffic or transportation company into all this. The victim he was an innocent victim that got access to information he was not supposed to, that feels like a whoops, that cost him his life. That's what this feels like. I don't know how much deeper I'm going to dig, because I think we got most of our answers. I am going to throw a few tarot cards just to see what comes out. And before I do that, need to find my pendulum in all this mess of, there's one of them in this mess of crystals. I want to ask, I do this, I didn't know if I was going to bring out tarot or not. I should have done this ahead of time. And I brought out the harmonic tarot because somebody in my comments mentioned that they got the harmonic tarot and was loving it. And I've had it and haven't used it in ages. So, we're going to bring it out. And I like to do this. Do you want to be read in the reversed? Yes or no? Do I read you in the reverse? Reverse positions. Do I reverse any cards? It's going in circles. Back and forth is yes. Left and right is no. I'm getting a clear no. See it going back and forth? So I'm not reversing any cards. Some decks, the energy likes to be reversed or doesn't mind it. If it would have kept circling, I would have said that would have been it's up to you. Then it immediately, after I said, maybe the pendulum wasn't sure what I was looking for, but I said up and down, which is backwards and forwards, is a no. Or is a yes. Left to right is a no, and it went left to right. So no reversals. So let's just see what the story is that comes out. Is this related to his occupation, to his workplace, allegedly speaking? Was this, his unaliving, related to his workplace? Oh, the cards will come in the reverse if they need to be. Okay, now I understand. My guys just told me. If they fall out of the deck in the reverse, read them in the reverse. But don't shuffle them in the reverse. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got so far. This card came out first. And this is the Five of Wands, the Lord of Strife. And it came out in the reverse. So no struggle. Right out the gate. There was no struggle between Javion and the other person, the accomplice, the person that gave him help in unaliving himself. Or the accomplice that gave assistance to somebody else that was connected to a crime. Because remember, when he was unaware of his surroundings, I think he was taken by surprise. That's why there's no defensive wounds. Yes, I got my coffee. There was no defensive wounds because Javion was taken by surprise. Five of Cups. A sense of loss and regret. Another 5. Numerology-wise, 5s represent change, challenges, and conflict. So there was, I picked up emotional conflict, but somebody was emotionally unhinged. Absolutely. But remember when it said things did not go according to plan. And I mentioned that things are taken too far, that he was supposed to be roughed up. That's what I'm getting here. Almost like a regret of what happened because it wasn't supposed to go that far. Two of Wands, two involved. a plan that was put into action that they have regrets about. So whoever planned this with Javion, yeah, they're having a little bit of regrets right now. Because it's almost like it didn't go according to plan. This is not how it was supposed to go down. You're supposed to have a talk with him. You're supposed to warn him. Almost like giving him a contract or giving him an ultimatum saying he has to keep quiet. I think that there was other things that were supposed to play out if Javion squealed. But I don't think he was supposed to be taken out yet. 8 of Swords. Being trapped in one's mind. And that is also, when it comes to true crime, my prison card. 10 of Swords, betrayal. And Princess of Cups. So, I'm getting a communication that came across also was misconstrued. There was definitely an emotional conversation. Whoever the big person is that's involved, they are well connected. And yes, they have connections in law enforcement. But I'm getting somebody overthinking something, thinking that Javion was going to betray them in some way. And that ugly fish is going to come out of the cup, Princess of Cups, and be exposed. And that's what this whole thing is about. Fear of exposure. And I still get that he was not, his lights were not supposed, it wasn't supposed to be lights out for him. It was supposed to be a little bit of hurting to, as a warning, you did not see what you saw. It's like he was a witness to something he wasn't supposed to be a witness to. Or the cross of communications, he was sent something, or he saw something they should not have seen. It could have been something digital, because the phones, the communication, the digital footprint, that's all ringing in my head right now. He may not have actually witnessed a crime firsthand, but somebody sent him something that they should not have sent. 2 crimes connected. Started with one that bled over into what happened to Javion. And they made it look like self-deletion. And I'm hearing it's not 2 crimes connected. Two. Somebody was afraid of facing prison time over something that leaked out that wasn't supposed to. Yep, 2 crimes connected. I wanted to know if this had anything to do with work. It's telling me about the crime. Let me pick these up and ask one more time. Put these in the upright position. And if they come out reversed again, they come out reversed. Okay. I appreciate you giving me background and confirmation on what I've already said and what's already come out. But I want confirmation if this had anything to do with anybody that Javion worked with. My gut says yes. Just by the pattern of the cards and what the other decks were saying. 3 decks are kind of collaborating together. And this is the 4th. This is why I use multiple decks. So that I can get collaboration from the energies of multiple decks. Okay. The Star. The Blasted Tower. And the Magician. The Magician represents somebody who has the skills and knowledge, somebody who is a master at something. Sometimes this could be manipulation. But somebody who had the tools and resources, somebody who built an empire, who had the resources to do so, saw it blowing up. Or the potential. The star of the show. This is definitely somebody in leadership. And this is, to me, is a confirmation. I get a definite yes. Because somebody worked their ass off to build this business. And they would be damned if they were going to see it explode and bust apart. So, the star also represents a sense of direction and guidance. So I see them following a certain guidance, or somebody may have advised that person that was caught with their pants down. Not literally, but you know what I mean, figuratively. In something that they shouldn't have been in. And so they felt they shifted and changed direction. They were looking at the bigger picture. The star can represent the bigger picture as well. So they were looking at the bigger picture that this company was going to blow up and explode, be dismantled, dismemberment, remember that card. And they had to stop it. They had to do what they had to do to prevent it. But I think one person, somebody high up, did not intend for Javion to lose his life. But maybe given a very severe warning. But something didn't go according to plan. And it wasn't about a struggle, because we had the 5 of Wands in the reverse. It was not about a struggle. Javion was taken by surprise. How would they know to do that? How would they know where Javion was? GPS tracking? He wasn't too far from his truck? Who would have access to that information besides the DOT, the company he works for? I rest my case. So I feel that is what happened. It had nothing to do with race, religion, or any kind of hate crime. This was preservation. This was Javion being witness to something or seeing something, maybe even digitally, that he wasn't supposed to see. And I keep getting that it was accidental. Okay. Now, before I close this reading, I am going to get I want to get some messages for Javion's family. What Javion would like to say to his family. Javion, what would you like to say to your family, your loved ones? I heard gone too soon. Gone but not forgotten. The other side. Wow. Wow. This is beautiful. He is on the other side, and he's giving them signs from heaven. Okay? Signs from heaven. Give me 1 second. My son sent me a message. When a couple people at work bought some mugs from me, and they wanted to know if their dishwasher's safe. And they are. Okay. Withdrawn, going within. Split mind into minds. That's interesting. Yes, correct path. Okay. What I'm getting from these two cards, a message from Javion, to his family. They're kind of confused and split. And the correct path is to go within. Oh, there's a hidden card. Goals, stepping stones. Go within and find your path. About their goals, he's sending them signs from heaven. Their goal, your goal is to prove what happened. Their way of thinking. It's correct, yet it's not correct, is what he's telling me. Go within. The answers are there. And I get a sense of going into the light and healing. And he's about ready to enter the light. Okay? He's about ready to enter into the light. He said his life was short, but it was his time. Do not abandon your goals. If you have to take a time out and withdraw from society for a while to heal, do that. But he wants you to know the split mind. They are correct in that he did not do this to himself. And he wants you to know that he did not do this to himself. But it was not the hate crime that they were thinking that it was. Okay. And he wants me to bring out this other deck. I was looking at it last night. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring this out. And draw a couple cards from it. And then we will be done. Okay, I'm getting another message. In regards to the split minds. I'm getting the confrontation. Do not engage those who think differently than you do. Withdraw yourself from that drama and conflict. Okay? He doesn't want them to engage in that. He's showing me a lot of negativity. I'm wondering if, or negativity up ahead. And he's stressing again, this was not a hate crime. We got the crowning. And this is about the initiation. Thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. This is very, very spiritual. He's saying he will be born again. He will come back. He's saying that he now has a seat at God's table. Plant yourself here. And he's saying integration, embodiment, grounded action. He doesn't want your emotions to cloud your way that you think, the way that in other words, I'm getting this, he doesn't want you to be emotionally overwhelmed if you come across criticism. Again, he's showing me this withdrawn energy. It's okay to plant yourself in the truth. But don't allow your emotions to overtake you. Mother Rose. Especially my mother. Returning to each other, compassion, humanity. I'm seeing more about mother. I think his mother, mom, you're probably, which understandably you lost your son. You're probably the one who really needs to go within, find your grounding. Because it feels like you are going to be the rock. He's telling me you are going to be the rock. Or maybe you've always been the rock of the family. He wants you to understand he's okay. He's got a seat at God's table. And it may be a burden to you, but he has faith and he knows that you can handle it. Of being the rock, being the grounded one, and holding the family together. Okay. Beautiful message for you guys, for the family of Javion. And I am going to go ahead and I'm not even doing this drop the mic thing because this is such a, despite the anxiety over what happened to him, I'm feeling very peaceful. I'm feeling very much at peace. Now, he's not saying one way or the other if the truth will come out. Okay, without even any cards, I just heard him. He said, in due time. In due time it will. Ground yourself. Love each other. Show love, not hate. Okay. I love you. I love everybody. And I will see you next time. Love and light.